Okay, so last news story is the news topic of the PS3 hack. Um, they basically went in, found this number that was apparently randomly generated, says Sony, but it's apparently just like this single number for every PlayStation, and now they can use that number and get into any part of the PS3 they need.
Yes, the group is called Fail Overflow. I think they're British station, but they basically stated that they found that number to manipulate the security hardware part. When I mean hardware, that it can't be changed without completely rearranging the hardware aspect. It's not like software, but
Yeah.
basically what they've done is just found that number, and now they have full control over PSN on their PS3, meaning that they can download games and trick the network that they're actually paying for them. Possibly, they haven't done it yet. They've only stated that they can.
Yeah.
There's news in the future that that they're gonna go forward ahead with it. I know that back in September there was a guy that took a TI-84 Texas Instrument calculator. It's like a graphing calculator. He ended up making a program that manipulated the firmware on the PS3 to actually accept homebrew stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that was canned in the last firmware update, because I believe the last one was when Gran Turismo was
It
getting
was like,
updated.
and they put the patch because there was those Australian people who apparently had like that plugin or whatever that could also hack the PS3, but apparently that never like came to fruition or whatever. It was just like something they made up or whatever.
Oh, so just like a hoax claim.
Yeah, apparently, because like I was into IGN and they said like they contacted them and were like, "Can you send us one?" And they were like, no, sorry." And it's like, "Oh, okay, now it sounds legit then." It's like these people like sound way more legit, sort of though.
Yeah, because they had a whole conference on it.
Yeah, and apparently it was like super confusing now that they can do like, because they like takes over everything, Blu-rays, like every games, backgrounds, whatever. Like they have control of like everything.
Which is good. I mean, I applaud that myself, mainly because Sony was wrong to take a main feature away from their old fats. I mean, that's why I would rather have a fat over a slim, is because of that feature. But now that it's gone, it's like, oh, well, now I have a system that's exactly like the 360, because
Yeah,
they companies like Sony and Microsoft want total dominance of their product, giving the user no ability of freedom, so they gain profit. That's all it comes down to why they did that. I mean, until the Sony took away that the Linux capability, basically they've lost it.
Have you heard anything about that case? Because I know there was like 8 people who were suing Sony, and they combined them into one case over that whole OS. Because it was like a bullet point on the box, and you can't just like take that away from people when it's like on the box and it's like what they're expecting when they buy it.
Well, the that I know for a fact that that's not going to go well in courts, mainly because it's the old PS3 FATs that stated that are discontinued, so those boxes, they're not in resale anymore. That's why you go to GameStop or EB Games or anywhere Best Buy. They don't have the fat anymore. They once when they announced Slim, they completely discontinued it right there without bringing out any new fat models. And so, since it's copyright also and marketing, that that statement's no longer true when this new hardware came out. So that's why it's not going to go through court. Plus, Sony is a bajillion-dollar company, and they're going to absolutely crush these 8 people. And
Yeah.
I think they should just stop while they think they're ahead. They're really not. But again, it's ridiculous that Sony had to do that and take away that Linux capability.
Any thoughts on
Because
this, Dread?
Uh, No, not really much. You guys pretty much summarized it.
Plus, I should also throw in that no hackers attempted to hack the PS3 when Linux was enabled on it. There's something to think about right there.
And it's really sad that the whole reason they like removed the Linux was so people couldn't hack it. I guess it was kind of ironic that they're like, oh, now no one can hack us. Now they remove this. Oh wait, now people are gonna attempt and have succeeded, apparently.
Yeah, it's shown in history along that fact. I mean, if you restrict the ability to do anything you want, that person is going to find a way to reach out of those bounds, and that's why you see a lot of this happening now. Because it's sad to see these companies try and control so much just to gain profit, so that these executives are the most wealthiest people while they drain gamers of their
Hmm.
hard-earned dollars.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think we're done with this topic. I don't think we can go any further.
No. So, shall we move on to debate, which will be on the whole Activision EA, who we side with.
Ah, yes, this topic again.
This old gem that everyone loves talking about so much. The just vehement hate for Activision as a company.
Well, go ahead, Joe.
What? No, just continue.
Alright, well, I'm siding with the Infinity Ward's executives, Jason West and Vincent Santiella, mainly because they have the right to talk to other companies, and Activision shouldn't have acknowledged that statement in their contract.
Yeah, I think Activision needs to calm down. They have like the still freaking huge, biggest gaming franchise out right now that is making like millions of dollars, and they're just like, oh, we need more millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's pretty sad to see the way that corporate America runs.
It's not even like corporate America. It's just the way Activision run. There's like the right way to run a company, like capitalist company, and then there's like Activision, and they're just horrible public image, and it's like you guys need to do something to not look so horrible.
Yeah, they need to. Well, I think they're almost at the point where they can't return. I mean, I think they're on the verge of falling off that really steep cliff.
And it's like what EA was on that cliff. I remember years back, and everyone was just like, EA, blah blah blah, pumping out Madden. But they've like really pulled around, and they're releasing like at least interesting games now, like Dead Space, and like they're helping out on like Mirror's Edge and stuff. Like those are like interesting games, and not just pumping out like Call of Duties every year.
Yeah, EA has definitely turned themselves around since the Need for Speed, the Collapse, Madden, NHL, all those games that come out yearly. I think Electronic Arts realizes, wait, we're releasing these yearly games and we're having this bad image. Why don't we come out with something more appealing that's not so often?
Yeah, it's like they ran the Guitar Hero franchise into the ground. It was like they're
Well,
releasing multiple a year. Yeah,
Activision had the Guitar Hero series.
yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah, where EA was smart with like with the whole MTV Viacom, and they're releasing like a couple Rock Band games every couple of years, and it was like this is a smart way to do it. Like give us time, release like tons of new songs on the store. Don't just give us like new tracks every half a year.
Yeah, I think EA turned around once the 360 came out, realizing that we can do better. And you see like new IPs like Mirror's Edge. I mean, it wasn't critically acclaimed, but it's a new idea that was brilliant. And that games like Brink, the new game that's coming out this year,
Hmm.
is supposedly using that same idea of creating their gameplay. And the deal with Brink is they got that idea from Mirror's Edge, which is brilliant. I think DICE will come out with a new Mirror's Edge eventually, when they're done Battlefield 3. But other games like Dead Space, like you mentioned earlier, that is completely brilliant. Like it's the best horror game this generation. I mean, I don't know about Amnesia. I mean, I hear that game's excellent for what it is, and uh, basically EA has really turned themselves around. They're a real credible company. Yeah, they like the extra money for it, but I mean, I'm fine with just paying a little bit more for not so often many games. I mean, I think they finally realized that.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything to say? Dreddy got something in here?
Nope.
Okay, so we're all siding with EA, Zampella, Wes on this whole debacle.
Yeah, I like to see in the future EA actually backing them up and giving them the funds to survive against Activision, because eventually Activision's going to have to say, well, I guess we better face this in court and see where it goes, because draining the money of another person's pocket is along them just it's immoral as well as not facing the actual justice system, and they're going to have to face it at one point if EA decides to actually put their foot through the door.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to come back and bite Activision when realize people aren't going to keep buying Call of Duties every year, and that when was it Respawn Entertainment is their new
Yep,
company?
Respawn Entertainment.
When Respawn comes out and does something really like cool because they're not chained up by Activision, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I wish we still had this dev people to like make all these sweet games."
Yep, it's unfortunate to see that happen, but that's what that's just the situation that they've got themselves into.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep on moving on here. Shall we talk about what we are hoping, expecting, predicting to see in this year, 2011?
You can go ahead, Dredd, because I've got plenty to say. I think you want to get your word in first.
Okay, so first at E3, I'm predicting that they will announce Pikmin 3, hopefully, and along at E3 they'll announce a ton of 3DS games. That's pretty much a given. And as for the Wii, I don't know how exactly the year's gonna look on for the rest of it, but I'm pretty sure they'll announce a whole bunch of stuff. And the PS3, there's a ton of games coming out, and I'm pretty sure they'll announce some more stuff for the Move. And while the 360 Connect will have a lot of stuff announced, I'm guessing, or else it's just gonna stay where it is right now. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. My thoughts for this year. I'm thinking there's a whole rumor of PSP, PSP phone, whatever. I'm thinking maybe we see PSP 2, GDC, maybe E3, somewhere around there. They might want to get that out as soon as possible. Try to like stop the the 3DS train a little bit. Maybe doing something a little bit different, even though apparently it has like
Yeah,
touchpads in the back or something. Um, E3. I don't really know what E3 is a mystery. Connect games for Xbox. Maybe hopefully a hardcore game you would expect from
I
Connect.
know that Steel Battalion 2 is coming out for Connect in the future.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that'd be cool. And then TGS. I would hope to hear maybe more news on Verse 13, because that game looks really sweet. It looks like way better than 13, even though 13 I thought was like really great. And then Last
What was
Guardian.
13? Was it that Capcom game? No, that was Killer 7.
No,
Uh,
Final Fantasy 13 I was talking about.
oh, Final Fantasy 13. Okay.
Yeah, Verse 13 I think maybe release date at TGS for next year. I don't think it'll come out this year because there's been like no information on that like at all. And then The Last Guardian is supposed to come out this year, but after seeing like Sony's lineup for this year, which is pretty good, I'd say they'll be like, you guys can like polish this game a little bit more. We'll push you to like the beginning of 2012. Have like a big boom at the beginning. Start off there.
All right. Um,